And I'm back. I just left a room that I talked all about stop buying and start being. And now I'm here to host the Tao of the Day with you. Oh, I love the Tao of the Day. And if anybody wants to jump in and talk Tao of the Day or give me a number between 1 and 81, your job is actually really simple. All you have to do is give me a number, and then we will start a conversation around the Tao. I love the Tao. The Tao Te Ching translates to the canon of reason, or it is all about living a reasonable life, living a life here in our body as we are, and accepting others as they are, and how to govern our bodies and our lives. And as we move into 2021, or 2022, maybe you have a number that's burning inside of you. You have a number between 1 and 81. You want to tell me, happy Friday, everybody. Who wants to come up and give me a number between 1 and 81, and we will talk Tao of the day. What is your Tao for today? I'm going to pick 78. 78 says, nothing in the world is as soft and as yielding as water. Yet, for dissolving the hard and inflexible, nothing can surpass it. The soft overcomes the hard, the gentle overcomes the rigid. Everyone knows this is true, but few can put it into practice. Therefore, the master remains serene in the midst of sorrow. Evil cannot enter his heart because he has given up helping. He is the people's greatest help. Because he has given up helping, he is the people's greatest help. True words seem paradoxical. So I'm going to grab a pen so I can start taking some notes on this. I'm stretching. Um, there's no pen in that notebook. There's always a pen in my notebooks. There is a pen in this one. Good. Okay, so we're going to start with 78. And what I'm looking at here is, nothing in the world is as soft and as yielding as water. Yet for dissolving the hard and inflexible, nothing can surpass it. The soft overcomes the hard, the gentle overcomes the rigid. Everyone knows this is true, but few can put it into practice. Therefore, the master remains serene in the midst of sorrow. Evil cannot enter his heart. Because he has given up helping, he is the people's greatest help. True words seem paradoxical. This one is beautiful. I don't think I have read this one before. Not on Tao of the Day, here on Wisdom at least. Nothing in the world is as soft and as yielding as water. Yet for dissolving the hard and inflexible, nothing can surpass it. Okay, so that's great, right? Like we can dissolve, and um, we can dissolve the hard and inflexible with water. We know about water and rock and all of that stuff. I mean, I don't know. I don't know that I'm really. Uh, I don't know that, like, see, this starts with an interesting concept, because like I don't know so much that I think water does erode as much as we say it does. But we can say the soft yielding water allows things to go into it, and yet it can break up stone and turn sand into glass and do all of these, like, amazing. I mean, I don't know if that's what happens, but maybe glass, it breaks up, right? Like little things, and then they have those um, sand dollars and other things, right? Water does so much of that dissolving and breaking things apart. But that's not the part that intrigues me about this. It's these next parts. The soft overcomes the hard, the gentle overcomes the rigid. Everyone knows this is true, but few can put it into practice. See, I get stumped here. The soft overcomes the hard, the gentle overcomes the rigid. I understand that in terms of communication. I understand that in terms of relationship. I understand that in terms of of attention, right? I understand that in a number of different ways. And so as I kind of go through this, as I'm reading this, I start to see that, like, these are the things that, like, how is this going to affect me? And when it says, but few put it into practice, I get really doubtful that maybe I know exactly what this is speaking about. And there's an interesting line next, which states, therefore, the master remains serene in the midst of sorrow. So, what about sorrow relates back to soft and yielding water, dissolving the hard and inflexible? Soft overcomes hard, gentle overcomes rigid. Everyone knows this is true. Few put it into practice, but the master remains serene in the midst of sorrow. It makes me think of scars, like emotional scars and pain. It makes me think of being yielding like water to allow things to enter and leave. Sorrow can be experienced through loss. Sorrow can be experienced through, like, I don't know what else. Like, sorrow is experienced through loss of things that we expected, maybe, loss of the world around us. This is 78, and we're coming to the end, and there is a pattern in the Tao that I don't know if it's spoken of much, that gets deeper as we get through. And so this, there is lots of addressing how the soft overcomes the hard throughout the Tao. But in this one specifically, it's a little different. Nothing in the world is as soft and as yielding as water, yet for dissolving the hard and inflexible, nothing can surpass it. So water takes the shape of the thing that it's in and can dissolve hard things, and so it is yielding. Like, that's what they reference when they say it's soft and yielding. You can put your hand in it and it will yield space for you. The soft overcomes the hard, the gentle overcomes the rigid. Everyone knows this is true, yet few can put it into practice. The hard and the rigid, and these are interesting terms that Stephen Mitchell is using here. Therefore, the master remains serene in the midst of sorrow. See, it says, therefore, the master remains serene in the midst of sorrow. Now, that therefore is interesting because it's coming after everyone knows this is true, but few can put it into practice. Therefore, the master remains serene in the midst of sorrow. Is the master sorrow because few can put this into practice? And because so few can put it into practice, a society is being created around the master in which we are building hard things, in which we are building rigid things. Is that what is being said here? Nothing in the world is as soft and as yielding as water, yet for dissolving the hard and inflexible, nothing can surpass it. Scene. The soft overcomes the hard, the gentle overcomes the rigid. Everyone knows this is true, but few can put it into practice. Therefore, the master remains serene in the midst of sorrow, in the midst of this chaos, in the midst of what he is experiencing as sorrow. Evil cannot enter his heart. The evil of the rigid, the evil of the hard, the evil of that which is being created around him in the society that he is living. We have to remember Lao Tzu was leaving the society that he was brought up in for a serene life in outside of that. The master remains serene in the midst of sorrow. He remains calm in the midst of all of this chaos. Evil cannot enter his heart. He is not going to capitulate to the hard that is being created around him. He is not going to capitulate to the he is not going to kneel to the hard world that is being created, the inflexible world that is being created, the singular world that is being created around an economic system, let's say. Therefore, the master remains serene in the midst of that sorrow, the sorrow of of creating, the sorrow of seeing a, the creation of inflexibility. Evil cannot enter his heart because he has given up helping. He is the people's greatest help. Everybody that the people are looking to, everybody that the people are seeing in this inflexible, rigid, hard world are trying to help, are going out of their way to help so that they can engage in a world that is, attached to this inflexible economic system. That it was the concept of the talk that I was doing earlier, that was entitled "Stop Buying, Start Being," and this concept of like, look at all of these coaches out there, look at all of these people who are just trying to get you on a roller coaster of payments and on a roller coaster of codependency, not getting you out to live your own life, not getting you out to live as you are, but getting you kind of connected to their economic growth. Therefore, the master remains serene in the midst of sorrow. And that sorrow, once again, relates to the inflexible, the hard, the rigid of a society that is being put into practice because everybody knows that the soft overcomes the hard, but few can put it into practice. Therefore, the master remains serene in the midst of that chaos, in the midst of that sorrow, because he has given up helping. He is the people's greatest help. When you can live your life as a beacon rather than as a teacher, then you are truly teaching. And that's how I see that. And I want to live my life as a beacon. I don't want to live my life in a space of being like, I'm your greatest help. I want to be the beacon that gives you the help that you need. And true words seem paradoxical. When you speak this, especially when you have a relationship to a surrounding that is inflexible or rigid, it's going to seem quite paradoxical for you to hear that, like, because he has given up helping, he is the people's greatest help. He wants the people to be who they are. I want you to be who you are. That's why I talk about recovering yourself. I want to thank you guys for joining me throughout 2021. I want to thank you for supporting the Tao of the Day. I want to thank you for supporting me and my talks and all of the things that I do. It's so important to me to be able to share and just be here, and talk to myself or talk to others. Either way, it's a wonderful experience for me, and I appreciate wisdom and all that it is, out here in the world. I love you guys. Thank you so much for 2021. I don't know that I'll be back on today, but I'll definitely be doing Tao of the Day on Monday. And I'll possibly be getting together with Paul for a Sunday collaboration, but I'll be traveling on Saturday, so we'll see. We'll see if I can reach out to Paul and see what's up for him on Sunday. Once again, this is a Recover Yourself production. I'm your host, Martin John, the Recovery Mentor. I host workshops regularly, and you can find those on my website, and you can find links through my Instagram and all sorts of stuff. My website is martinjohn.com, spelled the way you see here on Wisdom. I also work with a limited number of one-on-one clients every month, so contact me when you're ready to work together. And yeah, once again, you can do that here on Wisdom or anywhere. But if anybody else wants to jump up and give me a number between 1 and 81, I would be happy to have it. Otherwise, love you guys and keep recovering yourself. Happy New Year.